a wonderful sight to see a Tuesday night in the sports ground. Probably 2,500 to 3,000 people on the terraces. A great game of football, and then on the field at half-time, 4 mini teams with all their supporters and all the rest of them, and one of them from Gaeltacht, that's their title. Gaeltacht performed the haka both before and after their match, so that's a new one, a haka from the Gaeltacht.
The change at half-time. Second half underway, and Valu of Samoa has come on in place of Setu in the centre. No change in the Connacht team, but a foot rush with the other centre, Helleur, trying to lead it, and Connacht have managed to snuff that out. Well, that was well defended by Connacht. It's back now with Nikora. Straight down the middle and not forward, surely. Yes, there's the whistle to say that junior Poluleluligaga has knocked the ball forward.
Well done, George. Masterful. You handled his name better than he handled the football.
I spent the whole trip down here practicing that name.
Some wit in the crowd told me earlier that he was a first cousin of Lady Gaga's.
Well, he played a bit like Lady Gaga just then and gave Connacht the scrum.
Touch. Pause. Engage. Stay down, stay there, 9. No, stay back. Stay there, 9. Practice.
Advantage to Connacht is being played. Nikora. Wynne. Good burst, and he's presented the ball well for Willis. Chance now for Monahan. Monahan still showing how strong he is. Has created the platform for Connacht again. Killian Willis, Nikora. Big ball to Nathan. Nathan further across to Wynne. Back inside to Nathan. Nathan up to the Samoa 22.
Let it go, Blue!
Connacht just a point behind. Back it goes to Nikora. Nikora for Tuohy. Tuohy, Connacht's try scorer. Clipped on to McComish. McComish back inside to Taylor. Taylor got the ball and 2 Samoans at the same time. But Willis is there to pick it out and taken on by Flavin. Connacht driving into that 22. It ripped from Willis's hands. And a penalty to Connacht and maybe more.
I think there may be a cart of way here. Yes, there is, George, and deserved one. Very good play there from Connacht. And again, Monahan showing his real strength and his capacity to retain the ball and keep the movement going. Just looking at the Samoan side, there seems to be some confusion. 22 is on, who is Gavin Williams. I don't know whether our information is correct. Gavin Williams is the former Connacht player, spent a few years here. He'll know all about Connacht, and he certainly made his presence felt at the very start there with a big tackle on his opposite man. But here we have Nikora lining up for what will be, I think, his 5th successful shot at goal tonight.
This to put Connacht into the lead, which would be the correct portion of retribution for what happened. Samoa down to 14 men. Beautifully struck. He really does strike it well. 5 out of 5 for Nikora, and Connacht go back in front. It's Connacht 19, Samoa 17, and for the next 9 minutes or so they will be without their scrum half, junior Poluleluligaga.
Yeah, and this will be certainly a challenge for Connacht to see if such a young side has the tactical nous to take advantage of the absence of such a key player for Samoa.
Gathered in by Andrew Browne. Away by Nikora. This now Otto. Taken on. Leo. Samoa behind for the first time in this match and down to 14 men. Driven on by Selesele. Picked up by Otto. Oh, great defending by Connacht. Resolute. McComish in there trying to win it back. But it's still Samoa's ball. Otto.
Green rule!
And now to the man in space. Tries to Timoteo. Oh, and here goes Tuohy. And the foot race is on with the prop, Lemalu. And a penalty for the push. Tuohy just helping him down.
He couldn't resist the temptation there, and here we are again, broken play, our friend Pesamino.
The full-back, the top try scorer in the sevens, the world sevens. Connacht penalised for going in, diving into the ruck. The penalty to the 14 men of Samoa. It'll be 53 minutes before Poluleluligaga comes back from the sin bin. And Louis puts it into touch for a penalty that becomes a line out to Samoa.
Again, Connacht will be ruining the fact that they don't have possession while the Samoan scrum half is off the pitch. They've no chance of making any kind of inroads on them and taking advantage of the situation unless they get their hands on the ball.
It's taken on by Muagututia.
8 away now, please.
Playing scrum half is Otto, nominally the right wing, Daniel Leo, and then Timoteo.
Release screen.
Paulo. McComish battling hard to pull that ball free, but without success. Oh, on goes the prop, Lemalu now. Samoa will protect the possession. Taken on by Leo. Got forward by Timoteo, advantage to Connacht. And there'll be a scrum back with a Connacht put in. Well, it's apparently a problem for us getting the pictures from Galway to you. We're sorry about that. Do the best we can to ensure that this doesn't keep happening.
You need treatment, Captain.
But
time off.
I'd have to observe it would be a bad time to lose pictures if Connacht are on top.
Well, now that they've taken the lead, and they'll be hugely boosted by that, having taken the lead so soon after the half-time break, and with the key Samoan scrum half, Poluleluligaga. What do you think of that, George?
That's fair enough.
Okay. But with him off the field, Connacht really have a wonderful opportunity now to capitalise on it. But as I said, they need the possession, and up until now they haven't had possession in his absence.
Mike McComish and Owen McKeon, the new wing forward, the two gentlemen wearing similar scrum caps.
8 down, 8 in. Closer, guys, closer. Crouch. Touch. Pause. Engage.
Picked out by Ezra Taylor, but difficult for Willis, but he's got it away to Nathan. And Nathan, has he measured that correctly? No, he hasn't.
Again, a mistake that Connacht can ill afford to make in these key 10 minutes. Ezra Taylor's handling at the base of the scrum, unfortunately, left a lot to be desired, as did the subsequent kick from fullback Troy Nathan, who's had a very good game up until now, but more certainly could have been made of that, and possession again handed back to the Samoans.
Middle of the line, taken by Leo. Now through the hands, Helleur.
Tackles away.
Tricked out by Louis and driven back in there again by Leo. Louis, this time it's Paulo. Renowned Samoan strength coming to the fore. Louis take it back in again and see is there potentially a way through of the Southern Connacht by pushing them so hard. Killian Willis putting the man down, but it's still Samoan possession. Taken on by Selesele. It's controlled by Samoa, getting ever closer to that Connacht line, and this is not what Connacht would have wished for the period that they had an opponent in the sin bin. Samoa controlled, keeping possession, inching ever closer. You have to admire it if it's frustrating Connacht. Leo. And they're really close now. Stretching Connacht by keeping it tight in the pack, where there is no numerical disadvantage. And almost to the line. Taken on by Lemalu. Still Samoa's possession. How many faces is this? And Connacht had stolen it illegally.
Oh, he's playing the man, got the ball.
The referee, John Lacey, awarding the penalty to Samoa.
Taking out the man.
But this is
play the ball.
Quite incredible, but nonetheless very astute. Keep it tight when you're a man short outside.
Very, very effective, and they have played exactly as they should play, and they've got the added bonus. Not only have they managed to deny Connacht possession, but they've put themselves into a scoring position, and penalty given there against the Connacht number 8, I think, Ezra Taylor, for playing the man and not the ball. And now what we have is a kickable penalty for Samoa to put them back into the lead, to give them a 2-point lead. And I don't think he'd be taking any great hurry with this kick, because every second gained every second spent is a second gained for their man in the sin bin.
Yeah, Lolo Louis, indeed. He's just
I think he's looking for a weather forecast, George.
Replacement for Connacht number 18, Dylan Rogers. Replaces number 3, Barry Famusi.
The tea took a long time coming, didn't it?
They like it strong, don't they?
Dylan Rogers on for Connacht in place of Barry Famusi. Dylan Rogers, this is his competitive debut, South African. And there's Louis, who has managed not to score it.
6-3 substitution.
Another Connacht substitution coming on here, but I'll just deal with the first one. Barry Famusi is the new prop from New Zealand that we were speaking about. I have to say he has a bit of work to do in his fitness, by the looks of things, and hopefully Connacht will get their value from him, but let's say he might take a while to acclimatise.
Well, it seemed that Owen McKeon was rather reluctant to go. Another who's made his competitive debut tonight, and replaced by John Muldoon for the rest of the game. Connacht's Irish squad man is on again after being on as a blood replacement in the first half. So you'd have to say that that's an advantage that they lost Samoa. They had done everything right and had won themselves a penalty and should be back in front now by a point. But Louis failed to get it over in all that confusion and substituting. And as a result, Connacht still lead 19-17.
And John Muldoon coming in, a key part of the game. 52 minutes. Owen McKeon appeared reluctant to depart, and you wouldn't blame him. A youngster, graduate of the Connacht Academy, having made his debut tonight. Big night for him, and he did very, very well. But Muldoon is precisely the man to have coming in now at this stage of the game.
Pause. Engage.
Well, Mai is on now. Back goes Monahan. Oh, didn't quite get his man into touch. It's Sinoti still. They've done well to get it out of there. Mai, ball went forward. It wasn't handled. It was kicked forward, and now Muldoon and Griffin, but it's picked up by Pesamino.
Passes away, Green.
And Mai, and getting it back to the centre, Helleur. Tuohy letting it bounce and then playing it to Nathan, and he can go for touch because it wasn't carried into the 22, and that's a good kick by Troy Nathan. While on the Samoan side, they've decided against resuming with the man with the 14-letter surname. When his sin binning was over, they've replaced him with Mai, who's exactly half the number of letters in both his names. And I think that replacement announcement brought a laugh for the stadium announcer. I have every sympathy for him. For the last time, Poluleluligaga has departed the sea.
Well done, George. That's why you're there.
Well, Mai is the scrum half now. And there he is, number 20, shoveling the ball away. Well picked up by the wing, Otto. Powerful runner. This is Samoan 7 style, taken on by Helleur. They've met over here. It's Gavin Williams, the former Connacht man, going for the corner, and he's in. And that is what Connacht did not want to see. Williams gets the try.
Williams, and a beautifully constructed try it was too, but again the Connacht first up tackling not what it should be, straight through a couple of tackles there, and with that it was just a question of efficient delivery of the ball outside and good pace, and in they go.
And take the lead by 3 points. Former Connacht man Gavin Williams, and the opportunity to add the points falls to Louis.
Okay, you can send him on, Ali.
Unsuccessful with his last kick. But he's curled that one. He's almost made it, not quite. So that's another one that went wide. The gap remains just 3 points, and Connacht will believe that there's the opportunity to score a famous victory over an international side, because at this stage, with over 20 minutes to go, they're just 3 points adrift. But that was a fabulous try by Samoa.
No doubt about it. Gavin Williams will be delighted to be able to put one over his old teammates in Galway.
Samoa 22.
Back to Helleur. And the urgent comes on, carry it, but instead it's kick it is what he's done, and it hasn't been done too successfully. Back on the Samoan side. One of the substitutes on now, Dara Fanning. New man from St Mary's is on the wing. He's replaced Shane Monahan, the Blackrock man, former Blackrock man. Back on the Samoan side again. Helleur. A little rubber kick to test the defence. Nathan's onto it. Oh, Nathan has found the gap. Ball knocked to the hand. No, the referee said it was okay. It's Willis. And a high tackle on Killian Willis. That was unnecessary, and it's going to mean another card for Samoa.
It's dangerous and high. Off you go.
That's the hooker this time, Paulo, who goes to the sin bin.
Captain.
Yeah, he hit Killian Willis high. We see it there around the neck, unnecessarily so, definitely. And
that's why he's got in the bin. Okay, I've had a word. Discipline is your side. You work with me. Perfect.
Interesting to hear the referee there continue his dialogue with John Muldoon, with Adrian Flavin. And it has to be said, John Lacey's had a good game tonight. The game has been flowing quite well. He's kept the lid on it. Sometimes the Samoans putting in their big hits can have a fairly explosive effect on either side, but none of that tonight.
Well, Killian Willis makes way, having taken that knock. Yeah, referee John Lacey, one of only 3 who have played and refereed in the Heineken Cup, others being Alan Rowland and David Changlang of Scotland at once of the borders.
I knew about Alan Rowland, I didn't know about David Changlang, George. He covers it well, doesn't he?
So 14 men, and this time the disadvantages of the pack for Samoa. And it will be 67 minutes before Paulo comes back or is replaced. And out half, it's Selesele, the open side flanker. Tuohy has dropped it but hasn't knocked it forward. Nathan now. And Nathan into the space, but oh, that's a much better kick than the last one. He plunked it in the full last time, but this time he measured it. The birthday boy gets the birthday present, the kick that works right out.
Beautifully placed kick there by Nathan. He has been really excellent for Connacht all night, particularly with his one-handed delivery for Connacht's try.
So this is a crucial point of the game as we approach the midpoint of the second half. Connacht with just 3 points in it. A man advantage in the pack at the moment. And for the next 8 minutes or so. And with no hooker, it's Lemalu who throws to the line-out. And Connacht have got it back. Flavin down on it to secure possession. Replacement scrum half Conor O'Loughlin. And now the tall figure of Dara Fanning. Dara Fanning, the new wing. O'Loughlin picking it out. O'Loughlin for Muldoon. And O'Loughlin firing it out there to Nikora. Reverse pass by Wynne for Griffin. Still no ball forward. Referee in close attendance can see that it's going where it's supposed to, backwards.
No. Lose away!
Still with Connacht.
Here's release now!
Ferocious close quarters rugby by the home team, getting ever closer to that line, and the crowd encouraging them on their way.
Three blue offside.
So an offside, giving Connacht an advantage and a penalty opportunity. They don't score the try, and time enough to take the penalty.
It's not coming out of there, guys. 3 blue offside.
So the penalty is against Mulipola, the prop. And in the circumstances with the 20 minutes to go, we feel Connacht will want to get level on the scoreboard and take it from there.
Yeah, they'll certainly need to get this. Like 20 minutes playing against 14 men. You must get some return for that. But interesting there in those last few plays, George. Influential players. Dara Fanning here on the right wing showed again the tenacity of the man he replaced, Shane Monahan, and then Conor O'Loughlin at scrum half looked to be that little bit zippier and busier around the base than Killian Willis had been, and certainly got things moving more quickly. And I think we're looking at the mauling over there in the far corner. That would, to me, would be the influence of John Muldoon again, coming in there, leading it, taking everybody under his wing and getting things done efficiently and properly. And Connacht really need a score of some description from here. And it's interesting that they haven't taken their option of the kick at goal. They're going for a try instead.
Well, without their hooker Samoa, they've had to send on a replacement to complete the front row. And maybe they'll get the reward here, Connacht. Almost there.
Let it come!
It was Browne from the second row. Back again they go. And they're in. John Muldoon. Couldn't have written the script better, could you?
Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Just put the doctor order. Certain the crowd now really in great voice, looking forward to a really good scalp. They deserve the 5 points. Hopefully they'll make it 7. But just listen to the crowd.
Muldoon, the man on the end of the move, and it was certainly the right decision to take the scrum.
Great captain's decision, and he got his own personal reward.
Well, you can see the point of it, because the hooker was off. They had to put somebody else into the front row, so it was a front row that was going to be beaten in the scrum, because it hadn't been together at all, and they won the scrum, and from it they scored the try.
Yeah, and a two-man back row decimated their defence.
Great kick by Nikora, and the margin is now 4 points.
Yeah, certainly a 7-pointer, fair return from the yellow cards. Maybe there's another 3 points in it. But Connacht really in the game now, and I suspect their greater togetherness, with the benefit of the crowd behind them, they could well go on and take the scalp here.
Samoa will be back to full strength, but they're behind again. Otto infield for Pesamino. Helleur stopped by Dylan Rogers.
Green.
Back from Mai. Louis. Helleur goes down. Mai taken on by Leo. Mai again. Connacht backing them all the way. And interestingly, it was Griffin who was in the middle of that, the centre, putting his man down and out of play.
I must say, Owen Griffin has impressed me tonight. It's the first time I've seen him. I heard a lot about him, all right, and Frankie spoke about him at half time, that he had been very impressive with the under-20s last year. He certainly has stepped up in class here. Remember that this is an international side, international squad players that we're looking at, and Samoa are only a few places, I think it's 3 places down the rankings from Ireland internationally. So this is an accomplished side. And for a youngster like Griffin to be performing at the level that he is performing at, and with the quality that he's showing tonight, he certainly has a decent future ahead of him.
Number 16,
Samoa just a couple of minutes away from having their complete line-up back on the pitch again. On they go again, Connacht. O'Loughlin, what a burst! Almost there. Support went forward. Sadly, that won't count. Forward pass. John Muldoon, touchdown again, but that one doesn't count. Oh, he gets the boos, but I think they're half-hearted boos. They must have known.
Yeah, great break by O'Loughlin. Certainly he's been impressive since he came on. He's added another extra bit of zip to the Connacht attack, and great break. Unlucky, yes, I think that's a fair decision, but credit Muldoon though for being exactly where he should have been after such a good break by O'Loughlin. Yeah, don't think there's any doubt about the decision.
There's still 14 men and a less than complete scrum for Samoa. Can Connacht take further advantage and put this game beyond the reach of the visiting team?
Guys, can we sort that out, please? Thank you. Let's go. On my call. Let's go, lads. Connaughton. Crouch. Touch. Pause. Engage.
Oh, more pressure on. O'Loughlin to the fore.
7 release now.
Can Connacht turn it over?
Ball is there, back Greens.
Samoa have the possession, and Connacht are on the point of being penalised. They cannot dislodge Samoa. Back it goes to the out half, Louis, and he's put it into touch onto the greyhound track and relieves the pressure. Play 20 metres now from the Samoa line.
Effective defence there by Samoa, but with a little over 10 minutes left to play, they need to be back down the other side of the pitch, and they need to have their full number restored as soon as possible.
Taken at the back by Taylor. Connacht trying to ball it forward. The ruck is formed.
One blue.
And again they go. O'Loughlin, Muldoon. Shimmy away through, but Connacht.
12 off your feet.
Connacht penalised.
Stay up.
And the man who gives away the penalty is Wynne. Penalty then to Samoa.
O'Loughlin and Muldoon working very effectively there in tandem, George. Unfortunately, Wynne went lost his footing, and a very good attacking position was conceded.
Louis puts it out of play, and Samoa will be back to full strength now, and it will be not the man who went off to the bin, Paulo, but Poluleluligaga, who comes on as Lemalu with the big beard prepares to throw to the line out.
Their replacement scrum half was having a few words there from the referee, Wale Mai. He's put himself about a bit since he came on, and the ref has spotted him now and has given him due warning.
Drive forward by Samoa. As tight as they say as a drum, just 4 points in it. Taken away by Sinoti. And out of play.
Green ball.
Connacht throw.
This is going to be a fight to the end, George. Less than one try between them, 10 minutes left on the clock, and everything to play for both sides. Connacht having the territorial advantage, and certainly since Muldoon and O'Loughlin came on, they've been able to assert their authority that bit more.
Okay. No. Don't close the space. I need it quicker. Don't close the space, 5. Keep the gap, 5.
To the back it goes. Untidy ball for O'Loughlin. It wasn't straight. Scrum or what? Scrum it is they go for.
That's a great one, George, from the referees to tell second row forwards particularly not to close the gap. And once the referee goes back down the line, the first thing that they do is take a step across.
It's almost like a reflex action.
And it's nothing new either. I have vague recollections of it.
Touch.
So the replacement scrum half for Samoa. Put it in. Try to disrupt. Ball came out, and O'Loughlin is in there fighting. My word, he is a feisty scrum half. And look at this drive from Connacht up to the 22. Terrific drive, terrific steal by O'Loughlin, terrific drive by his pack, and it's there again for Connacht. Taken on by Dermot Murphy. Right. Oh, clever. Fanning. It took a lot to put him down. Griffin was really clever to keep that move alive. Taken on here once again by Dylan Rogers. And Connacht with tails up. Griffin. Picked out by O'Loughlin. Swiftly along the line, Muldoon.
Release him!
O'Loughlin waits, O'Loughlin passes, and the 1-2 played with Dylan Rogers. Forced to go across the pitch, Samoa defending stoutly, but Connacht with wind in their sails.
Keep moving, 7.
Penalty here for Connacht would be almost as important as a try, George, and I think John Muldoon will be happy with that.
Muldoon with the ball in his hands now. Control is what Connacht require. O'Loughlin has a look, and here is Nikora. Nikora for Fanning. Fanning back inside again, a big strong lad, making the couple of yards. Picked out by O'Loughlin, taken on here by Browne. O'Loughlin has a look to see where they all are. This is Nathan, bouncing off the tacklers. Almost looked like he was going to look to Nikora for a drop at goal, but no, they're still driving forward. They had a couple of opportunities where they might have done just that. Now what? They're going to try and stretch some more, take it back in again. It's Rogers.
That's his knock on, 4 away!
An advantage to Samoa, who've got the possession anyway, after all that. Helleur. And kicked away by Louis, and back goes Nathan. Maybe that was an opportunity squandered by Connacht. Nathan has a look, and it's the right foot this time to measure into the space, and out of play. Oh, but on the full, he didn't quite measure it correctly.
Hard luck there for Nathan. Probably it seemed to be just barely out, but again, excellent play by Connacht, and unfortunately it just didn't bear up to him. Great drive here. You see Conor O'Loughlin dispossessing the Samoan number 8 and really showing great tenacity and drive there. Back row getting in behind him. Superb drive, particularly at this stage of the game, and then continued on.
And how tight is this as the substitutions are made? Rob Sweeney comes on, another former Mary's man who's joined Connacht. And also on the pitch is Shane Conneely, making his competitive debut, a graduate of the Connacht Academy.
Tacklers away, Green!
Back row man. So changes in the front and back row. And taken on by Lemalu.
Tackle release, Green! Ball is there.
And now the chunky figure of Lele Malefaga. Advantage to Samoa. This is now Levy. The bench has been cleared out. Scrum half mine now. And through the hands of Leo. But a little untidy. Picked up by Helleur, looking for a way through. Then taken on by Louis. And swiftly on through Valoa.
Advantage over. And a concrete!
Still with Samoa. But stout Connacht defence. They really have managed en masse to defend well. It's been the individual tackling that's sometimes been a little awry, but in situations like this where it's all been kept tight, they've been defending it well. And it's gone out of play now, thrown out of play, and it'll be a line out to Connacht.
Great tackle there by our friend Owen Griffin again. He's really had a great debut. Great defence too by Connacht as a whole. I was slightly bit worried there at one stage because the old broken play situation, that they looked as if the Samoans looked as if they had something to play with, but excellent defence by Connacht.
In, please. Step into the line out. 4.
I think too it should be said that one of the reasons, in my view, for the improvement of Connacht in the last number of minutes has been the advent of Dylan Rogers, the new South African prop making his debut.
More cheers as they go up, and a big hit there by Shane Conneely, who will enjoy the moment. And his arrival caused the Samoan defender to knock it forward, and Connacht get a scrum. So you have to say, Conneely was brilliant there, up like an express train, combined with a JCB.
The adrenaline must be absolutely flowing in him again, making his debut against an international side in circumstances such as this. Last few minutes of a game, Connacht holding on to a lead over a touring international side. Absolutely fabulous circumstances for any youngster, and Eric Relwood will be delighted with what's happened tonight, regardless of the result, for them to get a full 80 minutes against an international side like this and be competitive with them in front of a big crowd. Really a great experience for the youngsters.
Pause! Engage! Bind up. Bind! Mark is there.
So the scrum led to nothing from Connacht's point of view, and Samoa get themselves an advantage. So it has a line out to Samoa, and again it's the bearded prop Lemalu. The clock is definitely in Connacht's favour, and so was that throw taken there by Upton. Up it goes from Nikora, who's had a flawless evening, 6 out of 6. And Connacht ending on the up.
20-degree release!
Samoa have turned it over, but they are still those 4 points behind. Oh, an opportunity here, and away goes Otto. Great defence to pull him in. It was the left wing Brian Tuohy. Just for a moment, you felt the pacey Samoans would be away. They still have the possession and dangerously are inside the Connacht half, but it's Nathan, and Nathan can go for length over the heads of the defenders, not taking the chance of a kick to touch that might end up on the full, bringing them back to a line-out. Instead, he's gone for the position tactically to push them back and make them come back at Connacht as the clock runs down with less than 2 minutes to go. Fanning across to defend this. The bounce was kind and the collection was good, and his strength took him away, and it's still Fanning. And Fanning, the former St Mary's man, pulled down on the 10-metre line. It's now Nathan. Nathan to spin it out to Griffin. Griffin back inside. Tuohy supported his shoulder by McComish into the Samoa 22. Wonderful finale from Connacht as we approach the final minute.
That is not gone off blue.
And it's an advantage to Connacht anyway at this time, because there's been a knock-on and they can play and see what comes. Rob Sweeney inside the 22. It's going to be a scrum to Connacht. There was no advantage coming, so they're called back for the scrum.
Yeah, Connacht really playing with their tails up now. There must be something about the sight of a blue jersey that Connacht players love, because certainly I've been down here many times at Leinster, and I know exactly how the Samoans are feeling there now, with Connacht swarming all over them. But Connacht really sense blood. They have a scalp, a major scalp in their pocket almost. And in 1988, Connacht beat the Samoans too. Tom Clancy was the skipper.
And there is, I do believe, Jim, your RTE Bank of Ireland man of the match.
Yes, Owen Griffin is my RTE Bank of Ireland man of the match. Excellent performance tonight. Good performances too from both Troy Nathan and Maya Nikora, and I would include in that Adrian Flavin as skipper, and particularly John Muldoon since he came in. But for an all-round 80 minutes, and for someone for whom tonight is such a big night, I think it's appropriate that Owen Griffin get the nod, and I have no doubt it'll be the first of many such awards.
Well, he's had a fabulous game. There have been a few, as you say, on the Connacht side, and it's just a shame really that this injury has taken the steam out of what was a great Connacht charge towards the finishing line, but with less than a minute to go. And the cheers there for the announcement of man of the match, Owen Griffin, a very popular winner, the 20-year-old from Barna.
Yeah, interesting too. The bench, the players which Eric Elwood has brought on have all made a big impact. I spoke about Dylan Rogers, the debutant prop. Obviously, Conor O'Loughlin, John Muldoon, Dara Fanning as well is worth mentioning. Connacht really have some strength and depth on the wings. We had Shane Monahan, who Fanning replaced, and Brian Tuohy took his try particularly well. Owen Griffin, no doubt, can perform on the wing as well. So certainly the strength and depth that will only benefit from a night like tonight.
So now the clock starts again, and this, if Connacht can continue the way they've been going, should be the last phase of the game.
Touch. Pause. Engage.
Still ferocity in the locking of horns in the front row. Connacht trying to protect the possession, and they have retained the possession, and this should be the victory salute from Connacht inside the final half minute, and they're inside the Samoan 22, and this is on the brink of becoming a famous victory in the sports ground in Galway. Off they go again. The clock is on their side. They're ending in Samoan territory, and the 80 minutes up, and when the ball next goes dead, unless it's a penalty, it should be that finale that Connacht want to hear. And there is the final whistle, and Connacht have won. Embraces, handshakes, and a wonderful night in Galway, and a pitch invasion to boot, because this has been quite a night. 26-22, they've beaten the touring Samoans, and it's a great night for Connacht Rugby.
Well, without a shadow of a doubt, a wonderful night for Connacht Rugby. Eric Elwood's great run since he came into the coaching position continues. Tonight is a scalp that they'll remember for a long time. Touring teams in the past haven't even visited Galway. Now Galway is on the circuit, and Samoa will know have found out all about it. But a great night for Connacht, and particularly for their younger players. Elwood blooded several youngsters. We had Shane Monahan, man of the match, Owen Griffin, Brian Tuohy, Owen McKeon, Famusili. Look, the list goes on. It's a night that, and Frankie referred to this before the game, a youngster gets far more out of a game like this, regardless of the result, than a more experienced player. It'll bring all these youngsters on a ton, and particularly the fact that they have got the result. Huge boost, and it's a great sight to see all the youngsters having invaded the pitch and surrounding their heroes in green. Great night for Connacht.
They saw 3 tries from Samoa, but they also saw 2 tries from Connacht, one from Brian Tuohy, one from their Ireland squad member John Muldoon, released to get some game time, and 16 points from their standoff half, the New Zealand schools and underage international Maya Nikora. A final scoreline that sends them off happy into the Galway night is Connacht 26, Samoa 22. Joanne, history has repeated itself.